Welcome, Walnut. I'm Lara, but you can call me Laz, your host for Walnut Wednesday. This is your reminder to be brave, be yourself, and know that you can make the world a better place just by what you decide today. Here, I'm going to share my weekly walnuttings with you on a Wednesday. Good morning, Walnut. It is me, Laz, here for another episode of Walnut Wednesday with Udi, coffee time, nice and early. It's about the only time I can come and speak to you these days. Walnut, I hope you're having a wonderful week. This week I wanted to talk a little bit about my experience with Kate's screening that I had just recently, and I wanted to sort of talk about how much I enjoyed it and how the inspiration I got from it was just how the lengths you can go to celebrate somebody else, to celebrate their hard work, and to just be in a spot of like, I imagine this might be how like parents would feel for sure when their kid does something like really great and amazing. It's like, but I had that for my friend. So Walnut, if you're kind of new here, Kate is a regular podcast guest and a really, really good friend of mine. We're besties of the whole wide world. We've been friends for years. And we have some really, really great conversations, which is why we ended up just continuing on this little saga of coming on to Walnut Wednesday and just having you be a fly on the wall and watching us. And Kate is a freelance producer and living predominantly in the UK. Predominantly, that's where she lives. I don't know why I said that. Oh, let's just have a sip of coffee to continue. And so she started working on a passion project, which has been littered sort of throughout the walnut tree and on these podcast episodes. And basically that all wrapped, came to a close, and was ready to be sent to the festivals and all the things, which Kate has alluded to already in a recording that we've had. But I think this was really, really special. And Michelle, who is the talent, she called herself, she's like not the star of the show. Would you say a star of the show, even though it's like a different? Michelle features, it's her face in the film. It is about her story. So she and Kate obviously worked really closely together. And one thing that I really appreciated was it was just all we learned this at the end of the screening at the Q&A, but it was all sort of go after filming finished, and Michelle went off traveling. And anyway, long story short, she found out that Kate was coming to New Zealand to visit her family and organised this a film screening for her. And I was so excited. So Michelle arranged hiring a cinema at the Roxy in Miramar. If you're from Wellington, Walnut, you know the Roxy. It's one of the coolest cinemas out. I still have one of my favorite experiences of my whole entire life from there, and now I have a second one. But so she hired that out, and so I wanted to make my contribution to make it a little bit special, and because my family were invited too and they couldn't make it, so we got a big bunch of flowers, and I actually timed out really well that I could hang out with Kate before the screening, and we were both kind of just in a really tired space, so we were both the perfect people to hang out with at a place where there were going to be lots of people and there's going to be lots of engagement and interaction. So she got her flowers, which was really nice. And she just got to like bask. And then Michelle arrived and she was like, "This is all for you. This is just to celebrate you, to say thank you for all your work and everything." Because she didn't get paid for this, obviously. And I just thought, wow, what a way to thank someone. More surprises kept coming out. There was like a film poster put when you walk into the cinema, and that beautiful time to have like questions and answers about the film after watching it was such a cool experience. Um I felt so emotional watching Kate, I'm sitting in the audience seats and not watching Kate down there, just like being a professional, like answering her questions. Like she's just like slaying in her lane, like just owning it, just like this is my craft, this is my passion. I'm speaking from, my work. And I was just like, I guess it's like I've never seen her in actual action before, right? I've never seen Kate sort of do her job apart from when we were like in uni made a film, you know? So it was really special and a special moment of pride. And I also really loved Kate. Kate actually came and sat next to me when we were screening the film, so I was able to like give her like the physical touch, like hand squeezes, and like she did a really beautiful job. She is so amazing in her craft. And I think what I want to share with this episode, Walnut, is that, this was a really great example of a grand gesture to show gratitude or to celebrate somebody. And, much like we do with birthdays and or milestones, birthdays rather, um, it was just a way that Michelle was able to celebrate Kate, but also everyone who was invited um, was also like able to celebrate her by just being there, and the ripple effect of that, like of just that the gratitude that oozed out of Michelle, before the screening had even started, just in the organization. Kate had nothing to do with it. And in terms of organizing things, she just had to show up. And, being like the organizer person that Kate and I are, we shared many a voice note like, oh, are you freaking out? Sort of thing, like, do you know what's happening? And, it was sort of like she just had to lean back and trust. And it was just a real gift. And it reminds me of like my cabin in the woods gift, where it's like I didn't have to do anything. I could just bask in it. So she was like star of the show. It was like the Oscars. Like she was chatting to everyone, telling stories, and then we went in. It felt so cool. It felt so cool and so professional now. And I don't really know what the walnutting is in this. Um, Particularly though, I'll come back to how we were both feeling like extremely sort of tired and um flat, and before the screening, obviously, and just how you can hold both. You can have that duality. You can highly, heavily, deeply celebrate and show gratitude while at the same time thinking, I need some rest. I'm tired. I want to cry, like you can feel multiple emotions at once, I think um is a really important thing to remember. But I think this episode is just gonna be another brag about Kate Bromley, because she's amazing. It was such a fun night. And like I say, I've had another memory at the Roxy Cinema in Wellington that's like one of my favorite memories to date. And now I have another one because it was made special. The effort was made for it to be a special night on everybody's part. And I did actually even Walnut, where my friend Alex asked the first question, and I was like, oh no. And I was like thinking, I want to contribute. I want to contribute. I want to contribute. And my hands started going all sweaty, and my voice was like this, talking into a theatre of people down at Kate. But I asked a question. I asked one of the last questions, and I got it answered, and it was beautiful, and it was lovely. So there was a walnutting in this episode about using my voice and things like that. Um, but it was out of a way of wanting to show gratitude and celebrate and contribute to the celebration even more than just my presence, which I thought was really cool. And then Kate said that it was a really good question. So teacher's pet, I don't know. But yeah, I think this is really, really cool. And Kate has mentioned that after the film goes to all its festival testicle after it goes to all its areas, and it's available to go on, on the internet and live to everybody. We'll obviously 100% share it in the Walnut Tree because of your contributions, Walnut. There was a funding page that some of the Walnuts have given and donated to. So obviously we want to share that with you. But I just want to, I guess this whole episode is basically a celebration of Kate. And I hope, Walnut, that you have, and this is the thing, it's like I was basking in the celebration of her. There wasn't a moment where I thought like I wish this was me or anything. It was just total oh my gosh, I just love you so much. I'm so proud of you moment. And I hope maybe this episode potentially reminds you of somebody that you feel that with, maybe someone that you've been thinking of, doing a gesture for, like sending a flowers or sending a lovely message or writing a song or whatever. But there are so many wonderful ways that you can celebrate somebody. And also, you don't often get a feeling where you're celebrating somebody without thinking, it's not without thinking of yourself. I hope you're picking up what I'm putting down, Walnut, but there are these times where it's like you're grateful for someone and you're celebrating someone, but it is of the most pride. It is just of pride that is a part of your life, I guess. And that's why I was kind of relating it to, maybe how a parent would feel about their child graduating or something like that, because it's it's an extension of you, your friends and the people, your family, the people that you choose to be in your life, they're an extension of you, and you get to be really proud of their achievements. I think that's where I want to wrap. So I hope this episode makes sense, Walnut. Please go and give Kate a little bit of love on her Instagram at Miss Kate Bromley for her outstanding stellar job. At the moment, it's all pictures of us because we went on our little holiday, which we've talked about on a recording. But I'm just so proud of her. So Kate, when you're listening to this, I'm so proud of you. And I still, when I think of your screening, am just basking in the fact that you did it. You did this thing. And I feel so fortunate that I got to be a part of it and actually support you. Your New Zealand support crew, support gang. Your New Zealand people got to be there and celebrate this part of your life that mostly lives in London with you. So thank you so much. And Walnut, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for listening to me lick Kate's butt for however long we've been recording. And I hope that you find someone that you think of and to celebrate today. And please come back and let me know if you end up doing a big grand thing like booking out a film screening or buying the bunch of flowers and presenting them, or if it's just a subtle I love you text out of the blue that says, hi, I love you, I appreciate you. And even though we haven't seen each other for 3 million years, when I think of you I smile. Oh, well, soppy floppy doppy, but you get what I'm saying, right, Walnut? So have a happy Walnut Wednesday. Celebrate someone that makes you feel really good today. And I will talk to you next week. Bye.